Tina, oyendo una canción que yo pedí, me están viendo. Oh my God, what is going on? Hold on, what is going on? Oh, there you go. It's just like, oh, apparently I can do this whole thing also on this. So sorry about that. Sorry, all of you. I have this thing open on Instagram, so it's giving me that. Hey, some people are joining there. So okay, so today I'm going to be just like I'm going to mute myself here because if not, it's kind of distracting. So today, oh my God, worst production ever. Quality, just quality for all of you. So today I'm going to be doodling. And I already started doodling, and this always happens when I'm starting to doodle, and then I realize, like, dude, why are you not sharing this? This is content. You should be putting it out there, sharing your process so others can see it and realize that you don't know how to draw. So others can see that your lack of talent. But that is not talent, it is determination. That's what keeps you moving forward. And that's all you need. So let me see if anyone is joining here. Some people are joining. Hey, nice haircut. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. I would love to just like, hey, some people are joining here. So if you leave a comment here, I'll try to be able to see it. Okay. So let's get started. Today, I want to uh, create a doodle, and let me just screen share. Let me turn on this screen, and I wonder if this is going to be visible on Instagram. Hopefully, it is. I'm trying this new thing, by the way. So I'm trying it to stream it on Instagram too. So, ooh, I see what's going on. On Instagram, we need to just like move it just a little bit to the center around here, and then you're going to be able to see it there too. So, I and what if we move my screen? Oh, there's no way to do it. Hmm. Let's do it like this. Oh, there you go. And now Instagram will be a little bit better. So I was having just like a doodling, making a doodle per day, and it's awesome. It's awesome because it forces you to just like to deviate. Like hey, you gotta get into the habit. You gotta get into the practice. The practice is the most important thing, and not only doodling but also sharing, putting it out there so others can see it and others can criticize it and others can crush you and just like make you feel like poop. That's the intention today, okay? For you to realize that hey, if Pablo can do it, I'm pretty sure I can do it. So I started doing this sketch, and as you can see, this character here, and I was struggling with the shape first, as you can see, just like a the shape is something like let me put it here in the center so on Instagram we can see it. The shape is something like this, and then hey, like basic shapes, right? Whereas like a basic shapes like this get you this, and then a something like this. Obviously, this is like a baggy shirt, and I'm into baggy clothing, but also baggy clothing, and suddenly you get like your foot down there just to show how baggy it is, right? Whereas like for example, I don't know, just like a like this baggy sweatshirt, let's say it, and then from there, like the skinniest, like I feel like that actually like helps you make it look a little bit skinnier suddenly, like if your arm is coming out of that baggy shirt. But anyway, that's pretty much just like the shape, and then this one is a little bit more actually like this. As you can see, the how I drew this head, and the head I pretty much just like a draw first a circle, and then just like a realize like how what is the shape you want to do, and then just to start adding the elements, and then suddenly, oh, I have a face. Look at that. But really circle, and then a the shape of your chin. Is it going to be square? Is it going to be more oval? Is it going to be more just like a pear? And then just like from there, like actually, let me just put the eyes first. The eyes and the mouth, and then from there, hey, yo, is it like this? Let me see on Instagram. You can actually see what I'm drawing. I don't think you can actually see what I'm drawing. I'm realizing that on Instagram is a little bit limited. If it's not center, it's hard for people on Instagram to see. But hey, it's something like this. Hey, if it is a circle like this, then just like a define your shin, and then you have it. Okay. Whatever, Pablo. Let's just continue. So I have this. What would we call it? I guess a witch. I was thinking that it's like a magician, it's a wizard. I was thinking that also that maybe the backpack should just like a maybe it's not a like a backpack, but it's more like it's carrying different objects to trade this her here or there magic tricks. So maybe it has like some science going on there. I was imagining that maybe some kind of radioactive thing in the back, and then I don't know. Maybe she's carrying a lot of stuff. It's not just a backpack. A lot of stuff that is used for her spells, for her different like I don't know conjurings. Let's call it. And then over here on the top, I was thinking of just like first in the beginning, I was like going with some kind of by the way, can you hear me? This is something that sometimes happens. I don't know if people can actually finally a mullet. Yes. So, oh, anyone there? Anyone there? I would love to know if you are actually here seeing and you can actually see like hey, the chat. Let me see. Hi, Pablo. Finally, mullet. Hello, anyone there? So I've been yeah, I got a mullet. Like yesterday, I said, you know what? Let's make a change. So anyway, sorry. Before that, so I was thinking that first in the beginning it was kind of a what do you call it? Like kind of a like a rainbow. I was thinking of like a halo, but in the form of a rainbow. But I was like, yo, no, let's do potentially we can do maybe a hat, just like a long ass hat like this. And then maybe if it's like this, maybe it goes something like this. Maybe that's too much. Hold on. Since we're looking from the bottom, maybe it should be more like this. And maybe it should be more like this. So let's uh, let's see now, but maybe it should be more like this. Yes, there you go. I think that this is the shape. So maybe this is what is blocking the hat. I'm just thinking like, hey, the hat, since it's such a large hat, and we want it to be big and fluffy, it can go many different ways. So let's just go like this and then like that. See, sometimes when you're working with your shapes, you just like, hey, don't erase everything right at once. It's like, oh, let's just start from scratch. No, just like draw on top of it, erase just a little bit if it starts becoming distracting. But hey, look at that. Like we made like 20 different drawings on top of each other until we got what we wanted. That's the process, my friends. So I think we had a hat. We have some chemical things here. Maybe there's some pots and some cauldrons, or what do you call it? Like pots and cauldrons. Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. And something like that. And also, I was thinking that maybe there's some kind of metallic or mechanical thing, like a robot leg or something. So I don't know. Maybe. What should we do? What should this be? Maybe it is the hand. But if it is the hand, then because I was thinking also that hey, maybe there's a spell here. There's a little bit of fire here going on. But if it's a mechanical arm, then it's going to be like, oh, so Is it magic or is it just like fire coming from its mechanical arm? And I think it has to be natural, just so there's no doubt this is magic, my friend. Because in the land of coins, there are some new magic things. So you know what? No mechanical things. There's already a lot of mechanical stuff going on in the back. So by the way, I was thinking that maybe this is like kind of like top. So mm, there's there's something like this going on here. And what else? What else should we add? I think that I like it. I think that we're good. Yes. So let's reduce the opacity of this. Let's keep just sketching on top of it. I mean, I think we're ready to just to start inking, you know. This is good. This is good enough. Let's just start inking this. Uh, and let's see if anyone is here. Again, if you have a comment, I would love to hear it. Watching you draw is mesmerizing. Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much. That is nice of you to say. Uh, if you have a question on my process, if you have a comment about like, hey, something that is going on in your life, something that is like, hey, maybe it's you're struggling with something about, hey, about the hardships of being a creative. What is that? Like, leave a comment. Maybe I can try to help you, you know? If you want some feedback, you know, like you have to first want that feedback before someone can give it to you. You have to say, like, I want some feedback, I want some opinions, I need some advice, please help me out, you know? So I'm trying to keep everything here in the middle. You know what? I'm being very sketchy and I don't know if I want it to be really detailed because we can go super detailed or we can go sketchy. I think I'm going to go with sketchy. Let's keep this. I'm going to go with sketchy, and you know what? Before that, I'm going to augment the uh, the resolution of this. So instead of let's do it pixels instead of 3000, I'm going to go with 4000 pixels. So I'm going to add a 33% uh, more pixels. Why? Because then my brush will be a little bit more detailed. So let's start again from scratch. I know, Paulo, come on, really? So you know what? I think I know what the mechanical thing is going to be. And maybe for her spells and all that stuff, she does have some kind of mechanical, like a watch or something. Because like, hey, sometimes those spells are kind of like recipes, you know? And she needs to have like something that measures the time. So those beans and those magic beans don't get burned. You know, she needs her spells to be just perfect. And look at that hand. That hand. Does that look like a hand? I always struggle with hands. It's the most difficult thing, you know. So yeah, so she has some mechanical thing going on here. This watch that maybe she made it herself, or maybe she bought it in the market. You know, uh, in a market like one of those markets that is like around the land of kind. So people just make stuff and then sell it to others, other artisans, other people who just create stuff and then sell it to others who need it. So um, let's use this. I love making. I'm trying to just like trying to get better at like fabric, at how fabric works. You know, I'm not I'm not that great. And also with baggy clothing, it's kind of fun to imagine how baggy clothing just like uh, folds. But I'm not that good. I'm trying. I'm trying my best, my friends. Um, I know that some people. I love seeing those videos on Instagram of like the do's and don'ts. And it's always just like, hey, you shouldn't do this. And it's always like, oh, that's exactly what I do. When they tell you like, this is the wrong way of doing it, and this is the right way of doing it. And it's always like, oh yeah, I've been doing it wrong all my life. Thank you. I didn't learn anything. I'm going to forget right after I finish this video, and I'm going to go back to doing things just the wrong way I keep doing them because I don't want to learn. I don't want to grow. I'm kidding. You gotta keep practicing, right? And it's good to see those videos because, like, hey, you realize, like, hey, how just because of like how other people do it, you start realizing, oh, so that's how you do it. Okay, that's nice. And then you do whatever you want to do, right? It's it's okay if you're don't worry too much about like making it perfect. Oh, this doesn't look great. This doesn't look too realistic. And it's like, dude, like don't worry about that. It's just if you're just starting, or even if you you have been doing this for a long time, maybe that's your thing, maybe that's your thing that they don't look perfect and they look a little bit messy. So we do this. So this is a fold, and then you fold goes like this. And fold. Yeah. So this thing about like a fabric, it's mesmerizing just how fabric just like goes around, and it's just like it has a life of its own, and it's hard to draw it right. It's I really those who have the ability, who have been practicing a lot to just draw uh, good fabric the right way. I I applaud. I applaud to you because that is pretty much just something that it's hard. I consider it hard that only the masters do it right. And I'm trying here my best. That's what we're all here trying to do, right? Look at this hand. So does this even look like a hand? So just like really skinny fingers, they're like French fries. Look at that. Those are not fingers. Those are French fries, Pablo. What are you doing? So I think, well, these are French fries fingers. Okay, she's a magician, and a magician with fresh fried fingers, and maybe they got fried because of one of her spells that went wrong or went right. We don't know. Let's try to do this whole curve. You think we can do? Oh well, I already did it, but this is going to be a challenge. No, I didn't like it. There you go. Let's do it again. Oh, we're not seeing the curve here on Instagram. So let's try it again. Maybe if I zoom out a little bit, it's going to be a little bit easier. Wow. Wow. Not great, Pablo. You know, let's let's break it apart into multiple steps. What about that? You know what? It's just that the position here, it's easier for my arm, but now I'm trying to do it over here. Let's just do it in multiple parts. It's okay. It doesn't have to be in one single stream. It's so weird because on the first try, it did come out okay. And then once you try to repeat, does that happen to you? When you're iterating, right? Because iteration is part of the process. You're iterating, you're trying new ideas, you're trying new things, you're drawing it and drawing it again, and you're trying new, you're saying like, what if I do it like this? What if I do it this way? And then at the end, if you are like me and you keep your well, sometimes I do keep my sketches, my initial sketches. And you are like that, then sometimes you realize like, I think I'm just going to do it as as I tried it the first time. That usually happens. I don't know if that happens to you. If that happens to you, leave a comment and subscribe. Yes, I'm kidding. I'm really bad at this whole thing about like promoting myself. I'm trying to get better at that. I've been also doing these kind of inspirational videos. So I don't know, like writing some thoughts that I have about creativity and about being an artist. Uh, Being an artist for me has been kind of a challenge this year, because like I had not considered myself an artist. before because, like, hey, I've always told myself, yo, you're a designer. You're not an artist. If someone says, "Oh, Pablo, are you an artist?" You're going to shut them down. Shut them down. Do not allow others to tell you an artist. Do not say that you're an artist, Pablo. Why? Because artists don't make don't make any money, Pablo. And if you start calling yourself an artist, no one is going to take you seriously as a designer. So if you want to be a designer, Pablo, you have to stop. You never call yourself an artist, and because well, designers usually are the ones. It's what pays the rent. Like being a designer has been what pays the bills for me for forever, for the longest time. So, and I realized really early in the game that, hey, artists are broke, yo. Artists are broke. So I said, like, I don't want to be broke. I'm not gonna call myself an artist, and I'm just going to be a designer. You know, what I create has is not subjective. It's real. It's fundamental. It has a meaning. I will tell myself, and I will tell others. You know. So what I'm saying is I've been struggling with my identity as an artist. And through that crisis, it's not a crisis, but hey, through that learning, I've been developing some thoughts, and I've been, I don't know, wanting to share those because like now with confidence, I can say, hey, I am an artist. I create stuff that sometimes can doesn't have any meaning. Sometimes it doesn't work and it doesn't matter. I just keep going. I keep creating and I making this as a gift. As a gift to everyone else. It's a gift to humanity. But not because it's a gift, I'm not going to charge you. You have to pay. Pay, bitch. No, it's just I don't know. I think I love the idea of just like, hey, once you start seeing it, something that you're not just doing for yourself, just doing for something you're doing for others, for an audience, for people are going to appreciate it. It's going to mean something to them. It's going to connect with them. And they're going to see this and say, like, hey, it's going to remind them of something that is in their heads, there's something that is in their minds. So once you start doing that, you I don't know, I'm realizing that hey, I want to be an artist. This is actually an important thing. This is uh, this is my calling. So I should accept that, and it's okay. It's okay that sometimes it's misunderstood. It's okay that sometimes uh, some people might not get it, or some people might not appreciate what you're doing. Well, it's part of the process. It's part of being here and inspiring others to just like, hey, this has value. This has meaning. This beauty has has a value. Aesthetics have a value. And I just like also in as a designer, I keep hearing, keep hearing I don't know, the campaigns against aesthetics, the campaign the campaigns against visual design, as it's like visual design is almost like a plague. You only some the visual designers, they don't even know what they're doing. They're just kids. They're artists. They don't make things that have meaning. We're the real designers, the ones who make all the post-its on the wall and make all the flows and all the diagrams. We're the real designers. I don't know. I sometimes I would just like even believe it myself, and then I realized like, oh no, these people just like have a campaign against visual designers, against artists because they can draw for shit. So what do they do? Well, they go against it. Oh no, no, that's not real design. That's not real. That's not. what we're here. It's like, dude, no, that's a big part of why we're here. We're creating things that are should have, yes, a meaning, but that meaning can be expressed visually. And sometimes it's with colors, with doodles, it's with feelings and textures, all of that stuff. So tired of your campaign against me, against the artist. That was me. That was me thinking there's a conspiracy against artists in the design world. That is me realizing that's a narcissistic me thinking that there's a campaign against me. Aren't we all conspiracy theories just a narcissists that just want attention? I think that's what we want, right? Just want we think the world is against us and that there's something else. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. You shouldn't listen to me. You should stop this and just like swipe up, whatever that is that now you do on Instagram or wherever you're watching. Just click out, close it, because I'm just saying things you already know, right? Because you're already an artist, you already understood it. Hey, it's not a campaign against me. It's just the people who are afraid of the things that they cannot control, and they're lazy. They just don't want to learn, and they don't want to learn. So what do? They do? Just fight against it. They say it's not worth it. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm saying embrace your artistic side and don't deny it. There. It's there. You just don't. We've been brainwashed to think that's not important. We've been brainwashed into thinking that only a few can do that, and only they have the right to do that. Only they have the right to be artists and call themselves artists. Not you. Not you who just makes stick figures on post-its. That's not art. It's not real art. Don't you see? Art is surrealism and cubism and all the isms, not the propisms. That's what they call our stuff, you know. And then we believe it ourselves. We tell others that's not art, even though we were once the ones who were pushed down on our creative decisions, on our creative path at a really early age. That's the worst part, right? When at a really early age, they tell us that's not how a crocodile looks like. You're dumb. You cannot do it. You cannot draw. That's not how a giraffe looks like. That's how what they tell us when we were kids. Now you're doing it wrong. You silly kid. You're such a kid. You're trying to draw, but you cannot do it. Pablo, that they didn't treat you that well, Pablo. I don't know what I'm talking. I'm just like, see, this is my self therapy. I'm realizing that I'm using these doodling sessions as my therapy sessions. Pablo, just talk to a psychologist. No. No, I should. I know. I've been with a psychiatrist, and but psychiatrists, so they don't tell you that. Psychiatrists, they don't talk to you. They're just like, "How are you feeling? You're still feeling like poop? Yes. Okay. Here's some medicine. More medicine." And you're like, "Okay, you're gonna feel better eventually. I think. We don't know. This is not science. It's just kind of a thing that we try. Okay, we try it, and then if it doesn't work, well, we'll try again." No, actually, they did this genetic thing. Pretty cool because like now they can tell me what are the things that I'm allergic to. Not allergic, but also the things that don't have a good effect on me, which which is kind of nice, right? Because like then I can tell you what are the with accuracy what are the prescriptions that you give me. But anyway, a psychiatrist very different from a psychologist, I guess. I've never been to a psychologist, and I need to go soon. It's going to be my challenge for my New Year's resolution. Going to someone to get that brain checked out. Okay, I think I'm liking this. Let's take a look at it. Let's remove the sketch below. Look at that. That's pretty nice, don't you think? Da, 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 da. That's a little witch. She's kind of oh dude, no, hold on. We're missing the other side of the the cane, the staff. It's like, a staff? A shaft? No, no, no. Staff. Wizard staff. Look at this wizard. Wizards only, boy. Boy. I think the hat is kind of weird. Eh, let's put a let's put this here. What do you say? And and put let's put this here. And what else? What else? I think that there should be some kind of like a rope at the end, you know? Maybe it's gone through some stuff, you know, just like that. And what else? What else? What else? What else? I think we got it. I think this is good. Now, shading. What should we do about shading? So, shading we can go with. I'm going. I'm trying to do just black and white, like pure black and white. And I'll do this quickly. Okay, so like we're thinking that the if the light is coming from above, then let's see. All of this should be black. So hey, and that's a cool thing. Like, hey, once you go black with your shadows and hard black, just like don't be afraid to add the shadows. That's the worst mistake that I've been noticing on myself. That I'm afraid to add more black, you know, and I'm afraid of the contrast that it will create. But you gotta lose that that what do you call it? Fear. What do you call that thing that I'm feeling? Fear. Yeah. So, for example, here, I would be afraid to put shadows here, but dude, like it's below the hat. Add the shadow. Make add that depth. Don't be afraid. Look at that. Add some shadows here. I'm just like I'm just going with the flow, baby. Just adding some stuff here. Like, hey, I'm making it dark here. Making it dark here. Let's just go super dark here. And maybe we just keep a ray of light on the side. Right here, we just some more shadow and then oh, no, hold on. Hmm. I'm going to hey, now I'm going to do this and I'm going to just do this where the shadow is the drawing too. So look at that. There you go. So oh man, I'm not getting the keyboard shortcuts right. So, for example, this, I think that it should be something like this, you know, if we don't want to be too afraid of adding some shadows. So let's try that. Oh, and you know what? Like this. Da, 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 da. Maybe we just add kind of texture here. Yeah, there you go. Now here we need way more shadow here. Too much shadow. The shadow of the wizard. Dude, she must be a cool wizard. I'm imagining her like with really cool spells, but spells that are just kind of like quirky. I imagine them as a she's the one that she will turn you into a frog just to troll you. You know? Boom, you're a frog. Dude, no. Ha ha ha. What's going on here? See, here's where I would be really afraid to add shadows. Really afraid to add shadows, but you know what? Let's try it. Let's just go with it. And maybe it's here and it's like this. See, that's where I would be really afraid. And you know what? But we need to add just enough here to leave just a ray of light here on the other side. That's a problem, right? See, now I'm doing it wrong. I had it right before. Well, we can fix it. This is okay. We can fix this. It's all fixable. That's the beauty of this. I'm just going to keep it like that. So, hey, shadow here, shadow there, shadow here, shadow there, just like this, just like that. I love using this really thick uh, paintbrush um, because it just like it goes from really thin to really strong, right? And it just like I don't know. I put a lot of strain when I draw. Just like it's almost like I'm mad. I get tired. My hand gets tired at the end because like I th- I I think that some people just like are able to just like draw with a lot of delicacy. I'm not. I'm just like like an animal, you know, like a beast with a paintbrush. And this one just like goes with that emotion. I don't know that I put on my paintbrush. Like sometimes I just like put all of it into it. And the paintbrush is like is dynamic enough to show that emotion. Let's call it the emotion of the ocean. Oh, see, now I'm becoming my own critic. Oh yeah, putting a lot here. I was feeling about like I was remembering when I was a kid, and this speaks to the time when the nuns wouldn't stop hating on me. Dude, I went to a Catholic church when I was a kid. For those who didn't know, I used to go to a Catholic church, and maybe that's why I'm a little bit a lot of traumas and fears and guilt. As a Catholic, you are I mean, the first thing they tell you is just like, "Dude, you're a sinner." You know, you are you're a sinner, you're doing it wrong, you should be feel, uh, should you should feel regret, you should feel guilt, you should fear the wrath of God. And that makes you really, I don't know, fearful. At least for me, that's how I got it. Obviously, everyone's religious experience is a little bit different, right? But for me, I think it built that. I don't know if guilt. Yeah, no guilt about like a I and also that idea that you should always be selfless, right? And it's good to be selfless, but they almost teach us in a way that is like nothing is yours, you know, that you should always keep out everything that is yours. And if something comes your way that is good, uh, it's you start thinking that maybe you don't deserve it. You know? It's and that no, you never do enough. For me, I always felt like, and I it's something how I was raised, I guess, but also, like, how I blame religion and, like, how I was taught through, like, Catholicism, where it's like, it was always not good enough. Not good enough for God, for others, and you should always give more, you know, and there's always an opportunity to give more. But obviously, it comes from a good place, right? Where it's like, hey, be selfless, right? That's a teaching. But in my mind, I got it wrong. In my mind, I didn't get the message right. I thought, oh, I'm never good enough. I'm always doing it wrong. I'm a sinner. I should feel guilty. I should feel ashamed and that's how I got it, you know? That's that's me. I didn't get the lessons right, I guess, and but the intention is just like, "Hey, always do better," right? That's the intention. That was the teaching that I got wrong. Intention is like, a there's always an opportunity to improve, I guess, and there's always, an opportunity to be selfless and giving. For me, it was a little bit of that, but also just like, "Oh, I never enough." That was the teaching for me. Mhm. If I get something good my way, you don't deserve it. Or it's just like, or you should pay for it. You should pay for whatever good comes your way, you should, like, sacrifice more because you I don't know how I'm gonna describe that. I need to read more and I need to write about this and really think deeper about that because I think it's interesting to, because I feel like it affects it's a good exercise that we should all do, right? About like how it affects or how we do stuff and how we see life and like how we were, I guess, raised and all that crap that they put in our little child brains, or little sponge heads. And suddenly that stuff you carry it throughout your life and because you don't question it, you just like think that that's how that's how the world works, and that's why also a lot of bad things in the world like are there because like they teach us like like people who are different, people who are divergent wrong. They're sinners. They need to be fixed. know? Like if you're gay, you're a sinner. You're not doing what God wants. If you are, I mean, like imagine I was Catholic school with all, and the nuns will give us a mass, and they they'll have this very, you know, like paternalistic way of seeing the world where it's like I was pretty much taught that a lot of macho ideas, like a like and even though there were more women in class, we were taught about like or roles, as men and as like what was the role of women. All that stuff you start like realizing you don't question it when you're a kid, right? And you grow up and you start meeting other people and you realize like, oh shit, I think what they told me was not right. They told me about being a boy and being a man and what women are supposed to do. That's maybe that was wrong. Yeah, dude. It's a trip. It's a trip to go through that. And I encourage you to go on that trip. It's cool. You start realizing other things. Oh, I think, now, like, the world is just like now you have to make that trip. You have to make that change in your life. If now you go out there and you're gonna offend you're gonna offend people, and you're gonna not realize that, hey, other people will not think what you're thinking, and now you are the divergent one. Ha! Now it's you who is who is doing it wrong. But even if it's not that, it's just like it's just the idea of understanding others. You have dude. Like I think one of the first things that led me to realize a lot of stuff, like I mean, I already thought those had those ideas because I thought I was a punk rocker and stuff, already carried a lot of ideas about, right, we're all equal and all that stuff. and about accepting other people's choices. But I think the first thing that, well, one of the first things that like really led me to open my eyes, which was like I went on a tour with an artist called La Prohibida. We're on a tour, and she's well, he, she. I mean, Pablo. You should be. It's just that when it's a transvestite. Is that, I mean, that's what he calls himself, like a transvestite. So he not a drag. It's not drag. It's a transvestite. She does a show as a woman and dresses up, and I will be the her musician. You know, when she was a Prohibida, I was a musician in the background, and we would go on a tour, and it was so dope. And I would meet a lot of different people. You know, like we like play in different, like really cool places, and a lot of places that were very different where from where I'm from. I'm from oh, it's it's a city called Mexicali, but, like, it's really it's almost like a town, you know? It's a town, there's a lot of stuff that it carries. Again, I come from a Catholic church and everything, and so a lot of the stuff that I was doing, I was a sinner right there just by being on that tour. And and anyway, I just met a lot of different people, you know? I met a lot of the world and, like, a lot of the things that I believed in, and suddenly I started seeing the people who be just repressed because of the different things of, like, how society works, and back in those days, like, being gay was still seen as not the best thing, you know? It's that they're still seen as a bad thing, it's so weird. I think, LGBTQ rights have evolved a lot in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, but back then, it was still just I don't know, man, it was not cool. I mean, as in, like, it was not cool, like, coming out and everything, still a giant struggle, and it's still in a lot of places, but at least in Mexico, dude, that was, like, bad. So, at least from a small town. So, anyway, that's the first taste that I got of a different world out there, you know, and different people and people who just so not because they're different, don't feel the same things that we do feel, you know? I don't know. I learned a lot. That's what I'm saying. And it's cool to be in that position and learn all of that stuff. Dude, look at this. Look at this. I am liking this. Pretty sure that we can do more with the shadows, but I'm going to just, dude, let's just stop, dude. Some moment we have to stop, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying a lot of stupid things, ignorant things. So maybe I should just stop because of that. Just sharing my, and also there's a party down here, so pretty sure it's gonna get noisy in a couple of seconds, in a couple of minutes. So let's just stop this soon. So let's see if anyone left a comment, anyone said something. Others love, 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 love. No comments, dude. Like no comments. Seriously, John. Got your Quentin coffee already? I did it in the morning. ¿Cómo oculto los comments para ver tal Pablito? Let me see if cómo oculto los comments. Well, my friends, thank you so much. There's still some people here, and I love that. I don't know, all of you. Dude, dude said, when cartoon photo shoot, Photoshop, really missing the team. 18, send you love. Oh, David Rojo, Anthony Cuito, watching your draws, mesmerizing. Hey, everyone. Okay, so let's take a look, last look at our doodle. We made a little wizard with some chemical. elements in the back. Look at that, it's so cool. So I'm happy with this drawing. I'm happy with what we made. Let's turn it off. And now let's just hey, wanna thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my doodling. And hopefully we learned something. Maybe you muted me, which is great, and you just kept the image in the background. Maybe you put some music. That's great. So I've been doing some like videos, like motivational videos for other people who just want to be artists or are struggling to be artists, and like self-doubt creeps in. So hopefully those are helpful. Sometimes that kind of stuff can be helpful in the opposite way, where it's like you can see me and it's like, oh, Pablo, thank you. That's exactly what I will not do. And if it's that, even if it's that, that's good, you know, because then I'm prompting you to think differently and thinking about your own idea. So that's good. So anyway, hopefully, uh, hopefully you have a nice weekend. Keep doing, keep creating, whatever you do, just keep giving. Okay. So I'll see you around. This ends now.